Hey, how are you guys? It is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about MSP sales. And I've seen a lot of people struggling, either commenting on my videos, and I just want to address a couple of those topics really quickly before I get into the meat and potatoes of those videos. The hardest part about MSP sales is a couple different things. You have so many working parts. It's unlike any other industry in the world, in reality. You have hardware sales, selling people servers, computers, switches, anything that has to go into a business. And heck, even some MSPs sell printers, although some people like to deal with it, some people don't. You are also selling software. Sometimes it might be antivirus as a endpoint, or you might be selling and finding a solution to help better that company off as more of a solutions provider as well as a service provider. And to top it all off, you're now mixing in service, which is ultimately the backbone of any MSP, is the service factor of it. Somebody puts in a ticket, they're going to call in or write in a ticket. You're going to have your techs go in, either call that person, fix the issue, address it immediately, and be done with it, helping that customer. Now, this is all well and good, but the hardest part, and what a lot of people struggle with, is the actual sale aspect. You're probably fantastic at doing the service and figuring out the technology, which is great. And that's really what the core of this business is. But without sales and without that sale happening, you're never going to be able to grow that service, which is then going to ultimately make you the money that you want to make. So why am I telling you all of this? A lot of business owners struggle with a couple different things. They don't know how much to charge. They're uncomfortable asking for money. Heck, they're even uncomfortable just walking into a sales call. And after that whole process starts, they have no actual process. They know that they need to make the sale. They don't have anything going on afterwards. And ultimately, they fumble through it and hope and pray at the end of the day that that person or prospect signs the contract. And that ends here. My goal is to teach you, and I've been teaching you, and I will continue to teach you everything that I know in the MSP world. But I know a lot of you guys have asked for we'll call it recipe for success. So I have been grinding the last probably month or so, building out the most detailed course I have ever seen that focuses on you, the MSP salesperson. Whether you are the owner operator or you are a salesperson working for an MSP, this is designed to help you win. Now, I have taken a culmination of every single thing that I've earned. Just the slide deck alone is over 200 and I think about 25 slides, and that's just slides. That is not including videos, practical training, real world examples of what has happened and what I've had to deal with, so you can close more deals. So I'm happy to announce that I have officially created and almost finished the MSP Sales Pro Blueprint. I say almost because there's just not enough hours to record, but from the moment you're watching this, it'll be fully finished very, very soon. There is already about 20 hours worth of content in there, and it is growing rapidly. Now, inside of there, you are going to learn everything that I've talked about, overcoming those objections, building that confidence to close the deal, and ultimately what you should really charge, along with so much more content. This video would be 20 minutes long, just going through what you're actually going to learn in the course. There's about 35 plus videos, plus bonus material going through it, as well as worksheets I have never released on YouTube. It is purely for the course because that is what you're getting inside of there. Now, I do want to let you know about one other thing that I'm kind of putting out, because a lot of people that I've spoken to want some kind of coaching, but they're not ready to commit on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And that's totally fine. It might be too much coaching for you, and you might have just small questions that come up throughout the week that you want an answer to, and you don't know how to fill the other maybe 50 minutes of that time. I've built this in here already, but if you do buy the course, you can then purchase the MSP Mentor Minutes. Now, that is sitting down with me in a open office type setting where it's a Zoom call. People can jump in, request to speak, ask your question, and get the answer you're looking for on a weekly basis. I've built it so you have to have the course, because inside of MSP Mentor Minutes, I'm going to be referencing quite a few topics inside the course. I can't just sell it to anybody, because that would be doing a disservice for anybody that actually shows up inside of MSP Mentor Minutes, and then I have to explain material that I've already covered in the course. But everybody is in their own situation. You're going to have your own questions. You're going to have to deal with certain objections that I've never even heard of before, or you might be struggling with building out a proposal or figuring out your pricing where it's a little different than what I'm currently used to here in America. Like I was dealing with somebody in South America the other day. Their pricing is very different because their currency is just very different. So I have built all of this into this entire course. You're welcome to go through it. It is extremely thoroughly detailed. So that way, when you go through it from A to Z, you are going to learn everything. Now, I don't want this to be a sales pitch. If you go through the course after 30 days, you don't like it, or before 30 days, I should say, it's a money back guarantee. I have no problem with that. I want you to get so much value from the online course going through it. So check that out. The link is down below, but I want to make sure I leave you guys with some value. Those objections that you're dealing with are not just objections in the MSP world. They're objections that you have to deal with yourself. And I'm going to give you a little experiment. I talk about this in the course, but I'm going to give you guys a little experiment to do. If you're uncomfortable talking about money, a simple trick to do, and I've done this, and I still do this every once in a while, just to make sure I still get checked, but it's called the 10% rule, or the 10% experiment. And what the 10% experiment is, if you know deep down inside, you provide a great service, you have expert knowledge in the industry, you love everything about the tech side, but you're struggling with the sale, and mainly it's because of the confrontation and the money that you're about to talk about, this is the experiment to build the resilience mentality to talking about that. It's really, that's it. It's practice and using this little experiment. And it's called the 10% experiment. So what you do is you go out and you look for any business as you progressively go shopping. I have a cup of coffee here, but you go out to the local coffee shop, and all you have to do is when you're buying and checking out, you say, hey, can I have 10% off? And they're going to say, I don't know, maybe, why? And you just say, well, I'm just asking for 10% off. More than likely, first of all, you'll realize how many businesses are willing to just write off 10%. But what it's going to do is build up that resilience, that getting over that fear of rejection, because you're just simply, you're buying it no matter what. You're not buying it if you get that deal or you don't get that deal. But what happens is, one, you might be pleasantly surprised at the answers that you get, but two, it helps you overcome the fear of rejection. And that's really what I want to do, to teach you in this course, is overcoming that fear of rejection, figuring out how to come through all of the objections you're going to deal with, and feeling comfortable about money. But this is the first step. Regardless of whether or not you go through this course, try it out. I promise you, after a few weeks of doing it, you can't do it for 1 week. You have to do it regularly. Every time you leave the house, it does not matter what you're buying, ask for that 10%. Probably about 50 or 60% of the time, you'll get that discount. The other chunk of time, you're not going to get the discount, and it's going to make you feel very comfortable about talking about money and getting over your fear of rejection. And that is the first step in your MSP sales. I know it's a crazy experiment, but it is just an amazing, amazing experiment. And over a couple weeks, you will become so comfortable with the fact of rejection and just talking about money and having that weird kind of conversation as you're at the register, that it is a simple no-brainer to start getting into that right mindset that will ultimately help you make the sale. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it, but that is the very first step, is changing your mind, getting into it, and knowing what your weak spots are. I address everything else from A to Z inside that course in extremely detailed language here, and slides to go through, and videos and practical examples. But just to give you an idea, if you're still thinking about whether or not it's for you, I'm going to teach you how to identify your ideal clients. Way more than I've ever taught on YouTube. Mastering your client's pain, figuring out how to find that client's pain, and then ultimately having it become easier for them to buy. Third is going to be everyone's favorite, overcoming those common sales objections. Building client relationships, which is, in my opinion, probably the most important part of any sale. Sales automations and tracking performance. And then last but not least, but sales follow-up and fulfillment. Because believe it or not, there is so much money to be made in that fulfillment area between asking for referrals and delivering a great service to your client. So that's just some of the topics that this course covers. If you are interested in it, click the link down below. It is officially launched today, August 1st. I am super, super excited. If you see this in the future, don't worry, the course will still be available. It'll be fully finished, 100%. There's already like 20 hours worth of content. There's no way you're going to watch all 20 hours unless you're just sitting in front of the computer all day. But if you see this in a week or two, that whole course will be completely filled. I have my entire calendar blocked off with just recording. There's also so much recording I can do. I've been drinking so much water as I'm losing my voice in this and trying to crank out YouTube videos for you guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you guys are excited as I am about it, because this is probably the most amazing piece of content I've ever made, and it is a massive amount of content for you to go through sequentially, order by order, step by step, to help you overcome those fears, build in a sales process, find the pain and sell based on the client's emotions, and close that deal to make way more money. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I love you guys. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you want to, go one step further, hit that notification bell. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. And if you're in those mentor minutes, I'm super excited. We're going to get into some super nitty-gritty details, especially about your business. I'll see you guys. Bye.